Welcome to the Construction Manager Podcast. So we're here again at Vanish. Hopefully, it's not going to end up like last time. It was a bit of a shit show when we all left here. Except for Todd, he's new. Let's get him.
It was a fun time.
But so let's just, before we get to the disclaimer, or should we do the disclaimer first?
I mean, I feel like we should probably disclaim everything we do all
Let's
the time.
do it. All right.
Can we do a disclaimer for last time?
No. Let's, you want to run with it?
Okay. The ideas and content expressed in this podcast are our own and do not reflect the views or opinions of any current or previous employers.
Nice job. That is not what I wrote down.
That's because you wrote it down wrong again.
I don't know why I do that. Whatever. You nailed it. Great
What's really
job.
funny is that you're the one that gave me that stupid disclaimer in the first place.
I know.
It.
I wrote it. Yeah. But I lost that.
He owns it. He knows what it says.
Yeah.
That's right.
I got it all. It's all up here.
Let's talk about who we've got with us.
Let's do it. So I'll tell you what. I'll talk about the two veterans that we've got here from the last round table. We have Jake Edwards here, million years experience. We got Dennis Sullivan here, also million years experience. Then we got a new guy.
New guy?
Yeah, new guy.
No experience.
He's like a virgin. He's like a virgin on the show. So we have Todd Megan with us, also a million years of experience. Todd's a director of construction. He's very important. And he's going to share his wisdom with us today.
Yeah.
Woohoo. Which is fantastic. Can you hit that screen?
Oh, yeah, this is my job
Got to
here.
work on the timer there.
You had one job.
Are we going to talk about how
Just put it in front of you.
we just
You
don't
even need
have...
it on that.
Let's talk about your passcode.
Let's not talk about that on air and video. All right, so we got our introduction out. We talked about everything. So everybody, I just want to thank everybody for tuning into the show. You know, we're over 113,000 downloads. It's amazing, and it's because we've got fantastic listeners that tune into the show. I like to think the content is amazing, probably the best ever, more than any university.
It's better than any content that there's ever been.
I think you're right. I think you're right. So but before we get to that, we got to thank some sponsors. So as always, we got to talk about TrueWork. They are fantastic. They've been a great partner of the show. They're putting out amazing product year after year, season after season. Jason and I dress ordinarily on the job site head to toe in this stuff because it's awesome. It's basically mountaineering gear that they've redesigned for the work, the job
Specifically
site.
for
I
work.
actually just got two new pieces of gear from them. I got a t-shirt and then a really thin hoodie.
Awesome.
I'm really looking forward to this winter because I'm going to layer them up with the hoodie, the black hoodie I already have. I'm super excited about it. What I wish they would make is a boonie cover.
A what?
I was thinking about it the other day.
A boonie
I was out in the
cover.
rain, and I was wearing like my old.
They do, don't they?
Said
Boonie
you
hat?
and nobody
And I was
else
like, you know
ever.
what? Who could really make a good boonie cover?
I only
Is
know
TrueWorks.
the only one person I know on this planet that would call a boonie hat a boonie cover is your brother,
Yeah.
Jake
Yeah.
Edwards.
He never actually got out of the service. He's still in.
He never left. Your cover
it's
is
a
it?
hat. It's like
A cover is a military term for any hat, and I haven't heard it since I was in the army.
What do you guys call them?
I think, though,
Losers.
I think that they have one, though.
Do they have one?
You know what? I'll ask. I'll reach out. I'll see if they have
Sombrero?
I think they made
I
one.
mean, if they're looking for somebody to test them,
Yeah, because everything that I've received from TrueWork, I wear it exclusively until
Yeah.
it's so gross that I have to change to another pair of shorts.
You gotta
I
wash it.
wore those. I took a couple days off. I wore my TrueWork shorts for 3 straight days.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. You can wash that stuff. It's okay.
Machine
can wash it
washable
and
right
wear
on
it
the
again.
label.
Yeah. I
Anyway,
guess
but you can go to truework.com and use promo code CMP15. Get 15% off your first order. They're fantastic. You're going to love the gear that they've got. I also want to reach out to Isotunes. They are fantastic. They are making Bluetooth hearing protection for the job site that meets all ANSI and OSHA standards. So you can actually wear them around the job site. You can connect your phone to it. You can listen to music while you work. You can talk to people on the phone while you work. And the great thing is they have a separate microphone that actually cancels out steady state noise like motors and engines and things like that. So if you want to have a conversation with somebody and there's a lot of noise in the background, it cancels it out so you can actually hear the person you're talking to, which is awesome.
Awesome
yeah,
stuff.
it's really great. Actually, when I use it on my skid steer.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
cancels out the noise of the.
Running machinery is the best. Running a chainsaw is where I had the best results. I like
Awesome.
the 2.0s.
Awesome.
I wish I had those today when Jake had a meeting scheduled for like 12 people when windows were going in on the exact same unit.
Yeah, so you can cancel that
A
shit
little
out.
bit of hammering.
Bring the wall over here. Bring the wall over here. Just rev the engine.
Or were you trying to cancel out the meeting and just listen to the windows?
No, I'd rather
Just listen to the windows.
I love construction, but when
Not
it's
that
getting
much?
installed doesn't
Yeah.
excite me.
Yeah, no, I get you. So, and then obviously buildertactics.com. You know, this show is produced by Builder Tactics. There's a ton of information. Jason, you're not going to believe what I did.
What's up?
I updated the blog.
Wow.
It's been almost a year. Boom, done. Cross that off my list.
Wait a minute. Oh, there's a blog?
Oh my God. Yes, there's a blog. There's a blog.
Yearly update.
Are you blogging on it?
Easy to follow.
Yeah,
What's a blog?
All he did was change the date.
I just read a bunch of shit and put it on there. We're good. So, but I updated it for the first time. I've been talking about it forever. I updated it. I'm going to actually do it regularly. Ish. I'm gonna do it regularly.
Don't everybody run there at once and crash the website.
But there's a ton of information on it. So, and as always, the manual is there. It's filled with information. You can go, you can download it. It supports the show. There's an audiobook option. So if you go to the website, you can click on the audiobook. You can go to Audible and download the audiobook version of the manual.
It's your voice?
It's me. It's me, man. All right, so let's talk about let's talk about a little listener comments today.
So, listener comments, we had a couple here in the last few weeks. And most of your like usernames, I guess, on iTunes are terrible.
They're terrible.
They're terrible. They're just numbers or like jumbles of letters, and
Yep.
it's like put a little effort into it if you're going to comment.
Yeah.
All right, now that I'm done talking trash, let's talk about these guys that said good
Let's
stuff.
talk about the first guy. What's he doing in the Navy?
Let's talk about the first guy. Thank you for serving in the Navy, and hit us up when you get out. It was your note here. What does that mean?
Yeah, no. So Jay, it's Jay, right? I can't
Jay,
see.
yeah.
Jay, what?
4949494949. I don't know what that is, but whatever. Jay is in the Navy. He listened to the podcast, and he wants to get into construction when he gets out. Man, that's been badass. Excuse me. That's great.
Man, that's fantastic.
Because that's what I did. I was in the Navy. I got out. I got into construction.
That's what I do.
Right.
So I love it. Jay, keep listening. When you get out, let us know. Hit us up. We'll see. We'll throw your resume out there. We'll see what we can do for you. Then the second guy was Leon, who's a student at GMU. Now,
You said he reached out because he suggested that perhaps they needed like a keynote speaker or
no,
something?
he wanted us to come speak to his CMAA group at JMU, which is Construction Management Association of America, I think.
Why would he want us to do that?
I have no idea.
I just can't imagine somebody being like, yeah, those guys are perfect for this job.
Well, I reached out. 'Cause
I'm just shaking his head over. He's like, no, nobody would
GMU
do
being
that.
George Mason?
Yeah. So I reached out to the student advisor for the club, Leon. I got crickets in return. I reached out to him, didn't get anything back. We would love to come and talk to your club, your little club of construction managers, but
So great.
Well, you should be condescending when you guys do it. What are you guys doing? Building stuff?
no, we would love it. And unfortunately, I reached out and didn't get any reply. So,
Hey, what was Jay's comment to back up? Do you
remember what his comment was?
He wants to do construction when he gets out of the Navy.
well, he said no, he just loves the show because he's got good taste.
Okay.
He's a smart kid.
Obviously, because he listens to
And he-
podcasts.
Just curious what the comment
Can you
was.
tap that? And he wanted us to come talk to his the organization he's involved with at school. And I tried to reach out to the student advisor, but multiple
Are you
times.
confusing number one with number
You're
two.
putting the two together.
I'm talking about number 2, Leon.
He's asking
No,
about
he's
Jay.
asking you
well,
about
in
Jay.
general, I just was curious what all the comments were.
Listen, Dennis, we're going forward.
You know, he only
We're
did a
going
little bit of
forward.
research. All right, we've only
do you
got
think the
this
listeners
one
wanna know what
screen
the
that we're looking at
Can
here.
we go to the third comment?
No, Jay just said that he loved the
keep
show
you
when
guys on
he
track here.
wants to get into construction when he gets out of the
Excellent.
Navy.
Awesome.
And then jumble of numbers.
Jumble of numbers. What you put.
Excellent screen name,
So one of
by
the
the
things
way.
that we saw was a question about, can we just plain do a podcast on theft? You know, I don't know how much content. Basically, it would be a series of stories about us talking about being stolen from. Let's face it.
Oh, I have a great theft story.
Oh yeah, we've got great theft stories. We're going to talk about that a little
good
bit
ones.
today. To be honest,
Let's hear your great theft story.
So I rolled up on this house, and the
way
front,
too much.
I saw the front door was open, and the house actually, the lot sloped away from the street, and I was like, why is that front door open? It was a Monday morning, right? So I run down there and I go into the house and I'm like, there's water all over the place. Well, some assholes showed up and they ripped my appliances out and they put them in a box truck. They drove a box truck around the house because they thought they were being clever and no one would see them because we had people living in the neighborhood. And they loaded it was raining. That's most important. They loaded all the appliances in the box truck and got the damn thing stuck. So when I got there, I saw the kitchen was in disarray, and I looked. And I was like, "There's a fucking truck in the backyard." So I ran out there, and all the appliances were there. No thieves, but they rented the truck, so we caught them. Lickety split.
So we're going to go ahead and put an explicit label on this podcast for today. That's all right.
Right.
Fucking box truck. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, I got to get a tap here.
You can, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Feel free.
I mean, Jason has one job.
But it's way over here, though. Look at this. How
Why don't you
far
put
it
it
is
right in
to
front of your
reach.
face? Like, why don't you put it right here?
At least you
see.
saved the appliances there,
All right,
buddy.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I was super happy, but they ripped the refrigerator away from the wall. I mean, it would have taken them a minute to unscrew the water line, but instead they just ripped it off the
They
wall.
were clearly in a hurry.
Yeah, they were in a hurry to get their box truck stuck in the backyard.
sucks. So anyway, jumble of numbers. We're going to do a podcast specifically on theft. Don't worry, it's coming. I say jumble of numbers because it was like 17 random numbers.
Right.
So,
Hey, can we get some more flies in here?
I don't know if that's on purpose or what.
They're not bothering me at all.
I think it was assigned by iTunes.
So what are we talking about today?
So today we're going to talk about material shortages. So as the days and weeks go by, we are constantly getting messages from our vendors about cabinet delays, appliance delays, tile flooring, all kinds of stuff. But
I feel like it's like one new thing a week.
it is. So here's the thing. So construction never stopped. So we still got all this production to make, but we've got these shortages in supplies left and right. And on top of that, sales are through the roof. So not only are we having all these delays because of shortages, we're looking at ramping up production to meet the incredible sales that we've had over the past couple of months. And that's going to cause a huge problem with production and how we maintain, and it's going to change the way that we have to plan our production processes to deal with these delays and these shortages. And that's what we're going to kind of talk about today is the delays and how we're coping with it. So I know you guys are all in production. What kind of delays are you hearing about from your trades and your suppliers?
Just overall increased lead times. I mean, double, triple lead times. And even then, they can't guarantee stuff comes in.
What kind of products are you talking about when you say double, triple lead times?
Windows and appliances. I mean, you might get your main order, great, but then what happens if something's broke or defective when you get it? And then you got to reorder that piece, and then it's double, triple lead time to get that replacement part. And
But you seem super down today.
what's that?
I feel like we got to get a couple of beers and you seem kind of down. You're
I'm
like,
trying to stay quiet. I don't want to peg the
You're good. You sound
needle.
good. He actually moved your mic a little closer. You're good to go.
yeah, you're like Windows.
Did I make you nervous?
Having problems with
It's
Windows.
like Windows. I didn't want to say something.
It's most of the parts and pieces that need to be made in a warehouse somewhere in a factory. They're reduced staff, right, to be safe, social distance, do all those things we're supposed to be doing right now.
Like us.
Like
Right.
You know,
Just like us right now.
appliances is a big one. Like you said, tile, hardwood floors, carpet. I mean, all those things that need to be done in a factory, they can't be at 100% capacity of what they can typically build in that factory because of what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And it's key for our guys in the field to be ordering that stuff early, like Dennis said.
Yeah.
Weeks and weeks and weeks ahead of normal, just to get it on schedule and make sure we have that order in so they know what the demand is and they can plan accordingly and move on. And
I think it's worse than that because I have guys that are ordering material weeks before they would normally order, and then when the material shows up, it's a partial order.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
got that too.
Well,
you can't anticipate that at all. You think you're going to make it by the skin of your teeth, and then they tell you, we're only getting part of that order in.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
We're going to give you the oven, but no dishwasher.
And then
Yeah.
and
To
another
guarantee
one.
you cannot get an inspection.
And I can tell this is like pretty much all appliances we're talking about. Or the other, like fourth scenario, where they say, unfortunately, you're only getting your oven on this order. And then they show up and they have like 4 appliances. Or you don't get a call at all. It was short from the load 2 days ago, and it just shows up unannounced. Like, I've been seeing that from time to time, too. It's so hard to plan for is my point. Like,
Yeah.
if you're calling a plumber or a appliance install guy, a trim carpenter to come install those parts and pieces when they get here, and you have them lined up anticipating that stuff being complete, and then it shows up incomplete or it shows up unexpectedly, it's like jacking up 2 or 3 trades at the same time.
Well, and it's not just it's not just appliances, it's all kinds of stuff. Because you get flooring in from other countries or tile, and it gets held up in customs because they got to let it sit for 14 days just in case it has the Wu flu.
That's the China virus.
China virus.
Or you get
Nice.
like lumber. Like right now, the lumber prices are spiking, and it's not because there's a shortage of lumber. It's
Talking to
because,
the mic.
like Todd was saying, you can only get so many people in the lumber yard, in the mill to cut the wood.
Right, and let's not overshadow the fact that at the beginning of this thing, like starting like March 15th, I think we said was like the kickoff day. All those factories were shut completely down
Right.
for like 60 days.
Yeah.
So whatever bench stock of material that they did have, we were quickly going through. People are freaking out and buying new homes apparently. So that's happening at the same time. And now all of this stuff is shaken out and they start back at 30% capacity or 50% capacity.
Just can't catch
and-
up.
And just can't catch up. I mean, it's the same thing with a lot of our tasks that we're trying to do. Same thing.
Well,
delay.
there's another side to that where all those people that have been home for months and months and months have finally decided as a group to improve their homes.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Me
now,
included.
so there's not just the builders trying to get all these materials. There's all these hairy homeowners that are sitting at home also trying to
yeah.
improve their homes at the
Oh,
same
yeah.
time, and it's putting a real burden on the supply chain.
Decks are a huge.
Decks are a big-
issue
I'm building one
now.
right now.
Fences,
Pressure treated lumber
fences
right
too.
now, you can't find it, man.
Well, that's the thing.
It's-
Home Depot in a city nearby, Home Depot and Lowe's both ran out of pressure treated material at the same time.
Yeah,
It's
there's-
unbelievable.
I
Can't make
heard
it
that
fast
that's
enough.
because they haven't increased their prices. They're selling lumber at a loss right now.
No, lumber has gone up like threefold.
Not
Not
at
quite
the
yet.
not the big
Not at the
appliance
Home Depot
stores
type
because they
places?
know they can give the people in the door, and then they can sell, all the other tools and necessary equipment.
Can
that
you
people
imagine
need.
being a hairy homeowner and you go in there and you're like, I don't want to pick on hairy homeowner, but you go in there and you buy the material for your deck and you're like, you know what else I need? $5,000 worth of tools. I'm going to use them one time.
That's what they're shooting for. I mean,
Yeah.
And you sell them on Craigslist.
a lot of people
Hey, or you're like a
Yeah.
guy like me who
are hairy
who's
homeowner and they
building
need
a
to rent
deck
the
too.
tools. It's so
Yeah.
Right.
But
They don't all rent tools, though. I wish they did.
who what?
Not all Home Depots rent tools.
Oh no,
Not
not
all
all.
of them,
No.
but a good number of them. I guess one thing I would suggest for any of the construction managers or whatever superintendents that listen to the show is, talk to your suppliers, all of them, from top to bottom, and let them know, hey, give me clear communication of when your stuff is, if it's going to be late. Just let me know. Like, if you have that information, then you can adjust your schedule and move on. But
Yeah.
if you don't have that information, you're going to fail. So call all of them, tell them, I need to know, as soon as you know someone's going to be late, please let me know.
And then they'll-
work your schedule around it, and let them know it's okay to be late. We're in a different world right now, right?
Yeah.
But let me know the information. I need the knowledge so I can adjust my schedule.
Right.
accordingly.
I always
move
used to
on.
say, don't sugarcoat it.
Yeah,
Don't give
give
me
it to
your
me
best
straight.
case scenario. Tell me as accurately as possible so
Yeah.
that I can plan for your failure.
Nothing is better than when you're like, when they say everything will be there on the 1st, and the 1st you're standing there and no trucks show up, and you're like, hey, where's my stuff? And they're like, oh, yeah. Oh, that's on back order.
Yeah. And you're like,
A lot of the
Thanks.
better vendors are giving you weekly updates at
Sure.
least or bi-weekly, but even that's to the point where it's like, hey, we're still behind, no update. Just
I'd rather get that
Sorry.
update than to be like ballparked and expecting stuff. Like I'd much
Yeah.
rather be able to. And you know what's funny is like we have a lot of work that we're doing. Things are going really well right now. I feel like we're kind of cruising, not cruising, but able to complete the job. And the guys are like, man, yeah, it's been really tough, but we're still getting by. And I'm like, brace yourself for it getting harder because we keep hearing about the shortages and the prices raising and us looking for new vendors as a result for certain things. And it's, it'll get worse before it gets better. And that's hard to hear, but brace yourself for
So
it.
you know one of the hardest parts of this for the guy managing construction on a daily basis on site.
Wait, did one of you guys bring all these flies?
I know. I wish they'd social distance. Don't they know? Don't they know?
I feel like one of us is
Someone
dead. It's a
stinks.
zombie.
I think it was
and we
Dennis.
brought all the flies with us.
Pretty sure it was Dennis.
no, I washed my clothes.
Probably me.
Shite.
We're wearing these jeans for a month.
But hey, let me just. So there's a flip side to this. So I got a call from one of our vendors that said all the hardwood flooring that you ordered is sitting in like Guatemala,
A sea container.
a sea
yeah.
container in a port.
Yep. Tile too.
And they're not releasing it because of COVID. But when I did a little more digging, what I found was there's actually a global shortage of sea containers. So
Everybody's building houses out of them.
right, everybody's building tiny houses out of them now. But it's legit. There's a global shortage of it, and like in China, but China's production, their manufacturing is back up to almost 100%. But they can't ship their goods because they don't have sea containers, because there's a 20% reduction in sea containers around the world. So they've got all these products they can't ship them.
Have you
Is
ever
that
seen
karma?
Hey, what do you think that's attributed to? Like not being able to produce new sea containers?
I don't know.
Start a
I
sea
don't
container
know.
business? Is
I've
that what
read
you're
like
saying?
4 different
If you were to
articles
write
about
sea
it.
container on a piece of paper, how would you write it?
C-container.
Connex box. It's a
SEA
Connex
container.
box.
It's a Connex box.
Is what it
Yeah.
stands for.
Connex.
That's what the military calls them.
That's
Everybody
what-
else calls them.
So
Right.
I'm referring to big metal boxes that go on trucks and ships.
And it's C,
Shipping?
SEA. like
Shipping
the
Shipping
container?
container.
It's
C.
It's
No, it's not. It's an SEA container because they
definitely
get shipped across the
SEA
sea.
container.
What about the
and
ocean?
oh my
It's
God.
shipped on the
all of
ocean.
Oh my
us
God.
think
C
that
stands
it's
for
C
Connex, just saying.
because
No.
it's Connex when you're in the military.
This has gone off the rails.
I don't think our listeners give an
See what
S about
they
Or a
do. I want to
C.
digress
Or an
a little
F.
bit. This podcast sucks
Yeah,
so
I
far. All
actually
we're
asked
talking
my
about is
boss-
real shit.
I asked my boss the
Look,
same
here's
question
my
like 3
point.
days ago.
Have
He
you ever
agreed with
seen-
me. It's SEA.
It's definitely
containers.
SEA
Okay.
because there are containers that are made to hook together to be able to take to sea on a carrier. Have you ever seen one of those
Wrong.
videos where one of those suckers are
over?
coming
Oh,
loose
yeah.
and you're
Oh,
just wondering
yeah.
how many like hundreds of thousands of dollars
What's
worth
in
of
them, right? Is it little baby dolls?
Body's falling out.
Who knows? What?
all right.
Nothing but
all
like
right.
slabs of marble.
Right, it's cars.
This is my
What's in
favorite
there?
part. This right here is my favorite
Dennis
part.
and I are convinced his body's falling out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right?
There's
Anyway,
probably some human trafficking in there too.
what did you just
That's controversial.
Oh,
That's
look.
controversial.
Oh, look, Dennis got a couple of beers in him, and all of a sudden he's coming to life. All right.
I mean, who's
Oh
gonna?
my god. All right, everybody, listen to Damien,
Anyway.
the den mother.
Anyway,
I mean,
So-
no wives are getting their nails done anytime soon.
What?
oh my god.
So what else are we
Well,
talking
this,
about
this
today?
show just got canceled. Anyway, so yeah, so that's just it. Just adds another wrinkle to the whole problem. So not only are factories slowing down or shutting down, now we've got an issue with shipping where we still can't get the material, even if they could produce it. So we've had to kind of reinvent the way we do scheduling because traditionally it doesn't work anymore because we don't have vendors that can keep up with the demand that we've got, and through no fault of their own.
Yeah, and we've had to take houses like through carpet with no cabinets in the house.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
all the way through. We're able to get the tile, but it's like an ass backwards schedule that we're
Right.
putting together
It is.
Yeah.
just to meet the demand of the homeowner. We told him we have it ready in July, and we can't get cabinets for months and months and months.
And the homeowner's a different issue too. Not to maybe go off topic a little bit, but different states have different quarantine issues, and you got homeowners that can't make it to design studios or get their selections on time. So you're trying to plan your construction schedule with as much lead time as possible, but you don't have all the information up front because the people can't give it to you. It's just you have to be so precise with all your scheduling right now.
Yeah, and you gotta pray to God that they don't select that Italian marble
Exactly.
that can't be shipped because Italy's
Right. But you know what? If you do, you deal with it. You come back to them, you say that product's not available, you bought a house during a global pandemic, I'm really sorry about your luck, but here are the choices we have, and you move forward from that. The part about this that kind of is, I've been thinking about lately, is kind of jacked up, is that we have some people who have recently started in this business, and they're out there managing construction for the first time, and these folks are like brand new to, this is all they know. I've got a couple right now, assistant construction managers that are working with me that they've only known crazy 2019 into 2020, and it was like never normal for them. And I'm saying like, no, hey, listen, don't worry. In a couple years, you won't have to build houses and figure out how to like,
Exactly.
fit your stuff together after other things have been completed.
Can you imagine getting into construction in 2020? What the? You're like, this sucks.
Right.
That's what we were saying back in
Hey, but
2008.
I was going to say
When it
weren't all of
started
us-
to suck.
Right, weren't all of us starting at some point in the early
2000s.
2000s?
I mean, we've
and we
seen
were
some
like,
crazy
no.
stuff.
Right.
Oh, except for Jake. He was born with a hammer.
Some of us started in the 90s because we're old.
Yeah, but you started in residential construction, like dealing with all this crap.
Jake started in the Navy. Jake was born with a hammer and a 2x4. And he was like, get out of my way, Damien. I'm building stuff.
I'm building a doghouse.
I'm building
for
stuff.
you.
You ingrate. You and that dog.
But yeah, that's a good point. You know, if you were in construction in the early 2000s, you know how
Good
bad it can
times.
get.
How fun it was.
But here's the thing: now is not. You brought it up the other day. You said this is not a man-made. Well, except if you count China, this is not a man-made problem.
Right.
You know, well, with the mortgage industry, that's what everything took a dump in the early 2000s.
I liked what you did
The
there.
late 2000s.
Now
Late
we're-
2000s.
Now we're dealing with, you know, the China
Yeah, and,
virus.
what I said was that was
That's screwing us.
that was like a slow like roll up to a big shitty ending.
Correct.
Right.
It wasn't-
This was like
overnight.
you saw it on the news. We made a couple of jokes about this thing that was coming our way, and then all of a sudden our world
The
was
big
flipped
hoax.
upside- Right,
Yeah.
exactly. It was like you aren't sure what to believe even right now. And I don't know. The truth is,
right now, I believe there are too many flies
right.
around this table.
I don't get it.
Well, then
Like,
just kill them.
like what the?
So here's the thing: we had a listener reach out to
here
us
'cause
because
my
I made a
beer's
comment,
empty.
and I don't want to sound, I don't want to be insensitive, but I made a comment a while ago about how much I hate wearing masks, which I do.
Right. Oh, it's awful.
But we had a listener in Japan reach out. I got you, and she said, "Damien, in our culture, we wear masks all the time."
Right.
But she said, "Look, in our
You
culture,
gotta
we wear
start-
masks all the time because you know they're so densely populated," which makes sense. And she's like, you know, this is the new norm. And
Except that masks are great for water droplets in the air, like
wait a second,
spits.
hold on, wait before you go any further. I just remembered this is a construction management podcast. This is not about masks or COVID.
No, but it is.
Masks
though.
suck.
It is because guess what? I have to wear it to my
part of the-
construction project.
It's part of the material.
It is,
shortage.
yeah,
It's tied- it's
because you're
tied
talking
to it a
about
little bit.
being ramped back up to
That's
100%. You know, places like Japan who are a little bit more strict and follow protocol a little bit
because
more
it's
precise,
denser.
Or they had less
Denser? Is that a word?
denser.
Denser? Yeah,
Denser?
more dense.
No, they're more dense.
More denser?
Not more denser. It's either more denser or denser.
We're densy.
No, but that's a good point though, because they're used to
They're the
because they have such a
densiest.
dense population.
Yeah.
They're
They're the
used to
densiest,
a little
yes.
more controlled.
I think it's their culture too. It's just
Yeah.
the way that
It's a cultural thing
Right.
for them. Yeah. But I know we had a meeting today. We had a,
Exactly.
I
we
don't
had a
wanna
meeting
be part of
today.
this.
Jake was there, and we had like 12 plus people there,
Yeah.
and there was only one person wearing a mask.
See, that's not okay.
And I
Yeah.
kind of like stopped the meeting and said, "Hey, look, I know it sucks. I hate wearing a mask. I don't like it.
Right.
But it's our responsibility as human beings and a population to wear them.
Totally on board.
Hard hats are optional.
We had some.
Not only that,
Yes, I forgot my hard hat.
Jake, stop eating on the table.
But it was
Oh, yeah, stop
everybody.
eating on the table.
There was a couple huff and hums and people that didn't want to do it, but pretty much everybody put them on, and we ran the rest of the meeting safely.
so that's the thing. So if we don't, as an industry, if we don't follow those guidelines, we're going to get shut down.
Yeah. Right.
And that's worse than a material shortage. If we can't work, period.
If OSHA
it
shuts
doesn't
you
matter.
down,
It doesn't
you
matter
are
if we have
done.
countertops or not. We're done.
Yep.
Not to mention the fines. Go ahead, Jason. What were you
because
gonna say?
because we're not really actually worried about getting sick. Because none of us are wearing masks right now.
Shut up.
I mean,
we're
we're
suspended
6 feet
reality.
apart.
I've been around you guys, so whether I'm wearing a mask or not, I'm probably the most cautious of the group.
You definitely
I
are
would
the
second
most
that.
cautious of the group.
Definitely.
I've
Definitely.
been around, except for
we got
this
we
guy.
got swabbed.
I've
This
been
guy,
around.
this guy's probably sick. I've actually.
Ooh,
been
when I was
tested
over the
recently.
river.
Are you sick, Dennis? Is
Have
that
you
true?
guys? Have you guys had a COVID test?
No.
It's
No.
horrible. So
They
I
shove it way up your nose, right?
twice. So
Talking to the mic, Tom.
actually, I had. I got a COVID test. My wife got tested, and so did my daughter. And the way my daughter got tested was different than us. So we went. And this is completely
She's
off the
smarter.
rails.
She's smarter than you guys.
But they take a cotton swab and they shove it till they touch your brain. They swirl it around in one nostril, pull it out, and here's the gross part: they shove it up the other side and do the same
well,
thing.
you got to get that cross infection going.
I thought they had the surface one.
I think the earlier tests had this, the brain
Dude,
prodding.
It was horrible. So
That's
then,
the same process
so
if
then
you
I-
get the clap, right?
well, then I took. Yeah,
Jake knows.
except it's
They don't go through
Well,
the
I
nose,
mean,
though.
penicillin's an amazing drug.
He was getting
So-
rotted off the range one way or another.
Well, then I took my daughter. I dropped my daughter off at school, and she got tested. And they only did one nostril, and they pulled it out, and I was like, "Here it comes!" And they're like, "We're done." And I was like, "That's bullshit."
You're like, bullshit. Shove it up
Do
her
the
other
inside right
nostril.
now.
I was like, "I heard her coughing. I heard her coughing. Get the other one."
She's young. She can deal with it.
But I mean, it's a.
great.
But it's quick. That's the thing. It's like 10 seconds. You're done. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world. But if you haven't been tested, I guess go get tested.
I mean, it's 2020.
Is this a
It
public
might
service
be the
announcement?
end of the
I don't
world.
know. Yeah, it might be.
I mean, murder hornets,
Murder hornets.
That
Wu
was
flu
a
virus.
hoax.
I'm pretty
Multiple
sure.
hurricanes in the same week.
hurricanes in the same week, dogs and cats living together.
I think I killed a murder hornet.
Ghostbusters.
This has nothing to do with construction.
Bingo.
This has nothing to do with construction.
If you didn't kill a murder hornet, you killed a big hornet.
Dude, you gave. I'm not even going to turn this thing back on.
That's
All
all right.
the notes are gone.
It's
We've
done.
already talked about it.
We've
all.
talked about
You
it.
wore out
Let's
the
talk
notes
about
already.
theft.
Let's talk about theft.
Let's talk about theft. We
Fuck's
got everybody
sake.
here. Let's talk about theft.
Theft on a construction site
I have
is
a good theft
horrible.
story. I got a good theft story.
What do you got?
So we were doing a condo building, a 2-over-2 building, and from the water meter up to where the water service comes into the building, it's about a 60-foot run, and it's a 2-inch copper line. Right. This is like 4 years ago. Copper prices are through the roof, and the copper's coming up into the meter room, like where it's supposed to be, and we're getting ready to go do the connection, and the plumber grabs the piece of copper and just pulls it out of the ground. And we're like, what the hell? Like, what's going? And there's no copper from the meter all the way to the line.
Awesome.
It's not there. And we're like, Mr. Plumber, like, what's going on here? He's like, oh, somebody must have stole it.
It was backfill?
Oh yeah,
It was
oh yeah.
backfilled.
They like hooked it to a truck.
No way.
And yanked it out.
And
Oh, that's
yanked it out.
great.
We had to replace 60,
Yeah.
70 linear feet of 2-inch copper line.
one is-
I don't remember what the price was. It was through the roof, and we couldn't charge
Oh,
anybody
that's
for
awesome.
it. We didn't know who stole it. Like, it
Dude, I was doing a job down in North.
was really creative though that they stubbed
It
it
was.
back. They stuck it back in the ground.
They're like, nothing to see here.
Gave him time to get away. I had a job down in south of College Park where we had put power lines in the ground for like 21 townhomes, and the same crew that put it in came back that weekend, craned it all, or like winched it all out of the hole. It was like $250,000 worth of line. The FBI showed up, and because we were like, what the?
I saw that exact same thing on The Sopranos.
Oh, really?
That's where they get the greatest ideas
Dude,
from
this
movies
job
and
site,
TV.
this job site, I had 3 dead bodies. I had
Tony
5
was super
fires.
pissed at Chrissy too because he
that
was
the
not
Arts
supposed to
District?
steal off
What's
that
that?
Was that in the Arts District?
It's the Arts District.
Yeah.
Oh, I should say that. No, it was not.
No,
the
it
Arts
was
District.
not in. It was not in the
It
Arts.
was not there. It was not there. All right.
So what else are we talking
Well,
about with?
I guess to go back to the
Shortages
stuff. Whether you're working for a builder, whether you're working for an owner, or whoever your higher ups are, the communication is the biggest factor from your owner, your builder, whoever you're working for, through the client and your subcontractors. Getting all that stuff communicated out as far out as you possibly can
100%.
is really the only way to be successful. If you don't do that, it's just not going to work. And I've got guys I'm working with now that aren't communicating enough, and it's a problem.
It is a problem.
Yeah.
We're in a different world right now, and what used to take a week takes a month or 2 months.
You know what?
And you have to adapt. You have to be adaptable and change your schedule and work it out and communicate it out. And if you don't do that, it's just not going to work.
I knew there was a reason we asked you to come here.
Yeah,
because
he's
that is
so
some
organized and on
super
topic.
sage advice right there. So 2 things, right? So communication is key, no matter what you're doing, but especially now. And then what was the other thing you said?
I don't know.
Adaptability.
Be adaptable.
Adaptability.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Yeah. No, that's it. That is 2 great pieces of advice.
And I'll say,
for
don't
anybody
just shoot an email. Pick up the phone and call them.
That's great advice.
Pick up the phone,
Yeah.
call your window supplier, your exterior. We had
and
exterior,
don't text them.
Exterior doors.
Call.
We had a house yesterday. It's ready for drywall. No exterior doors. But there's no communication between the construction manager and the vendor. Like, there's nothing. I'm like, what's going on here, guys? Pick up the phone and call them. Don't email them. Don't text them. Pick up the phone, call them. You can always document the email, follow-up email.
Definitely
hey,
document it.
Mr. Jones, you told me you were going to have windows on Friday. Thank you very much. Just want to follow up, make sure that's going to happen. Put that and document that so you have it. Or if it's a owner issue or a home buyer issue, pick up the phone, call them.
You know what, Todd? We're going to have you on the show again.
Right.
Because I think that is sage advice. And through all the garbage that we talked about today, that's the takeaway.
Right.
Communication and adaptability are keys to dealing with this issue that we're dealing with
It's
right
called the
now.
coronavirus.
It's terrible.
Oh, this is the coronavirus.
No, it's material
I thought it was
shortage.
the China
I
virus.
think we really need to get back to the number one.
The hoax
The
virus.
number one topic, though.
What's that?
Will True Works make a boonie cover? That's most important.
I'm sure that
I'm sure they will.
I think they have.
They're going to advertise it, and everybody's going to be like, "What's that?
The
Cover in the boonie?"
They're going to call it the Jake. Yeah, they're going to be, what the hell's a boonie cover?
Everybody knows what the boonie.
I think they already did.
I didn't know.
I'll reach out.
No idea.
When did Dennis get here?
No idea. Boonie cover. I just sat here and looked at you like an idiot for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
We should have those.
Did you
Let me
shave?
get that.
Did you shave this morning?
No.
Dennis.
2 days.
There's a shortage on
That's
razors.
2 days.
Yeah.
These razors are caught in.
It took me 15 years to grow this. I've been growing this for 15 straight years. I've never cut it.
You missed a spot.
Just fell off your head onto your face.
All right.
Never heard that one.
So again, I just want to thank TrueWork for being an awesome partner. Isotunes, their products are fantastic. They're actually building. So I've been in construction for about 20 years. I swear to God, I'm half deaf, and it's because I never protected my hearing, protected my head and my feet, but never my hearing. It's super important. So thank you, thank you, Isotunes, for finally coming up with a product that we can use to protect our hearing. And Builder Tactics, greatest website in the history of websites. The internet literally bows down to that website because there's so much great information on.
What's it called?
BuilderTactics.com.
I think the traffic bears that truth that the internet bows down to it.
How about the hits?
All the hits. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the last time these two are going to be on this show. Anyway, there's a manual on there. Download it. There's tons of great information in the manual. There's an audiobook you can download. I think that's it. For the show.
it.
Hey, I want to thank everybody for coming out here. Todd, thank you.
Thank you, Vanish
Best advice
Brewery,
we've gotten.
for having us.
Thank you, Vanish Brewery. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Dennis. As always, thank you, Jason. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much.
Word.